Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Scribes and Scrolls, the Candlekeep Mysteries. We are in Book 3, the Book of the Raven. This is Chapter 20, Hand and
20.
Horn.
Wow!
Yep,
Wait,
Chapter 20,
feels wrong.
our book,
We're almost
Chapter 20
legal
already.
age.
Something feels wrong, Jake.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. That's better. That looks regular now. So.
Oh, because you're actually
Yeah, right.
here?
He's been gone.
Yep.
Well, you
There's
were
always
here.
one- It's always
And
one
Ricky's
of us.
back.
Yeah, you were here last week. Ricky was gone.
Yeah.
Yep. mhm.
Ricky was
You know-
gone.
You know
This
who's
feels
never been
abnormal.
gone? You know who's never been gone?
Me and Gary. Perfect attendance.
One of you is going to crack, and it's going to be something you have no control over, and you're going to be so mad.
I'm going to Italy in like 9 months. So that might be it.
That's a fair
Might be
enough
it.
reason.
God
Yeah.
damn right. it
We
would
never
be.
hold it against anybody when they. We never hold it against anybody when they have to be gone. When you
No,
got to be
never.
gone, you got to be gone. It's all in fun. But yeah, here we are. Mondays are fun again with our Candlekeep Mysteries campaign that we got going on. We're having a lot of fun with this. Some fantastic role play. In just a moment, we will get on with the game, the recap, and the game. Just a couple of quick announcements. First and foremost, if you look up above Jordan's head, you'll see the +10 with a domain tome sitting there. Those are, of course, a way that you, the viewer, can have an impact on the game simply by tipping $5, cheering 500 bits, subscribing, gifting subs, resubbing, all that good stuff. All turns into domain tomes that can be used by the players. For 1 tome, they can gain advantage on a roll. For 3 tomes, they can take a re-roll of a dice roll and take the new roll. Or for 5 tomes, they can make me re-roll and take the new roll. You can also, besides the ways I mentioned through Twitch here, you can also do so through Ko-Fi, or Coffee. I'm still calling it Ko-Fi. I don't know why. I think it's my generation. I think of co-finance when I see that, and I'm old.
It looks like Ko-Fi.
It does.
Mhm.
But we do have memberships are up. You can join the MTD Jake memberships on Coffee, become an explorer, an adventurer, a hero, or a legend, and at each level get exclusives. Starting in the next week or so, I will be posting most of my work in progress photos exclusively on my Coffee account, with only 1 or 2 of those going out into the broader internets. So when you're a supporter, you'll get sneak peeks of the things I'm working on. You can check out the gallery to see what minis I've painted recently and overlays I've done, things like that. Lots of cool stuff. Plus all that support turns into domain tomes for the players. So check that out. We do, of course, appreciate all of those who are already supporting the channel. Part of your benefit for supporting and being a member is that you do get a shout out during our live streams, such as Hawkmere and
Woo!
Ashenworks, who are adventurer level supporters, and our hero, our own RQ Stefan, curator of the clips and moderator extraordinaire. Thank you for supporting the domain. Also, I see you just got another domain tome by a 500-bit cheer from Hadrian X. Thank you, Hadrian.
Oh, thank God.
For that. They feel like they need these. Cari still
We need
feels
to
guilty
start
about all the
building-
ones that she used.
We need to start building up a surplus team.
So
We need to be in the black.
the next thing I want to talk about real quick is we do have a couple of channel sponsors. First up, of course, is is Talon and Claw, which my links. If you're in chat, you saw what. If you're in chat, you saw that. I don't know what that is. That's a weird form of dyslexia.
MPD clam. I'm gonna start
Thinking of-
MTV Clam.
Let me try that again. Talon and Claw are makers of fine wooden dice accessories, such as these wonderful dice vaults that you can get there. Also, DM screens. Last time I almost broke my toe setting this thing back, so I'm not going to pull my DM screen out, but it's a hefty handmade piece of wood. Folds out for an awesome DM screen. Head to that link. Use code MTDClaw at checkout and get 10% off of your order. Also, please do check out our good friend Keel over at Run Right Play. Keel is putting together a... Sorry, I just saw the clip title and that got me again. Purveyors of the finest seafoods. We didn't even started yet and we're
Welcome
broken.
to Mini Terrain Domain.
Oh my gosh. Please do check out Run Right Play. Incredible community of collaboration. You can join their Patreon, become a member, and you can get access to their monthly zine, both digital and physical, that they put out. Oh boy. I think that's it for the primary announcements. I do want to take just a moment. Of course, we always talk about this, but this weekend, I believe yesterday, in fact, but it might have been Saturday. I don't remember which day it was.
It was Sunday. It was yesterday.
It was yesterday. World Mental Health Awareness Day. And, you know, we take mental health seriously here at Mini Terrain Domain. All of us here do. It's one of the many reasons why we have safety tools in place. We talk about our own lines and veils and our own mental health on the regular. We were actually talking about that before we went live. And I think it's important that we always have a place where we can openly talk about mental health, which should be everywhere, quite frankly. And that's one of the things that we're trying to do, is just do our part towards destigmatizing conversations around mental health. I've been very open about my own struggles with depression and anxiety. The fact that I did eventually, about 2 years ago, I got a therapist, and I go on the regular. And it is incredibly helpful. I cannot tell you how much my life has improved. It's not a cure-all, but that's what they're there for. They help me to navigate those mental health issues, help me to find coping mechanisms and find ways to move forward. So not just on World Mental Health Awareness Day, but all year round, we make it, we just try to let you know that you matter and you make a difference. And it's okay to not be okay. I know they sound like things you'd see on a t-shirt or a sign or bumper sticker or whatever, but we say them because they're true and we mean them. And we want you to continue to hear that message from us. If you yourself are struggling and you don't know where to turn, you don't know where to go to get that help, it is as simple as typing !help in our chat. This link will periodically show up at the bottom of the stream. It will also periodically pop up in the chat, but if you can't see the chat or are listening, the link is for findahelpline.com. All one word, findahelpline.com. Click on that link or go to that URL now, bookmark it, save it for later, save it for a friend. It is a fantastic, quick resource. You simply put in your location. Where are you in the world? That's all you need, and they will return local to you any number of, I know when I do it, I get something like 15 or 20 mental health organizations and shelter organizations for everything from suicide prevention to domestic abuse to eating disorders. You name it, you can find help there. And it is a wonderful resource, super easy to use. So please do not hesitate to do that, and it's okay. It's okay to reach out and let somebody know you need help. All right, I think that's it for our announcements right now. I think it's time to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
All right. Most recently, our gang has been continuing along the path. They did manage to find the remnants of the town of Witchway, a town that was desolate and deserted, with the exception of 3 dragonborn elderly women by the name of the 3 dragon aunties. Anti-Hero, Anti-Nocturne, and Anti-Portentia. The gang stayed with them for the night, trying to find some kind of rest and solace. Some words were had, a request was made. Some, if not all of the party, may be on the fence about how much they trust the 3 dragon aunties. But nonetheless, they did give them a little bit of help along the way for navigating this mysterious map. And they did make one request. They asked them to please, when they get to Chalet Brantifax and deal with whatever's going on there, to please see if they could find a jade turtle statue that belongs to them. They did also let you know that there is the little matter of some Shadowfell effects going on there. So you've got some things to deal with. And we ended with everybody had kind of heading up the horses in the wagon and rolling out of town on their way, following the map, toward the distant Hand and Horn. And that is where we pick up. You are on the road. It is somewhere in the middle of the afternoon. Maybe it's just a little bit after you left. I don't know what conversations or planning you want to have, but I'm going to turn it over to you as the sun is beginning to make its way up. The weather is cooperating decently. It's starting.
How hot is it?
You know what? Why don't you roll me a d20 while I find my... Uh-oh, where did I put it? Oh, here it is.
I have a feeling Mizya is going to gripe about the weather no matter what the weather is.
Well, I think that's what we're here to find out.
It's so cold.
So, what do you got for that first?
4.
4. It's normal for the season. It's you're starting to get in the by midday you're starting to get up into the 60s and getting close to 70s. Ooh. It's comfortable. Roll another d20, somebody.
I got it. 1.
There's no wind. You've got a little bit of a, whatever wind from the rolling of the cart along the road. And go ahead and roll me one more d20 and let's see if there's something for Mizya to complain about.
Dibs. I got a 7.
And there's not a rain cloud in the sky. No rain to be worried about. It is a beautiful, beautiful day as you are traversing the way. You hear
Is anyone sitting on the cart with me? Or walking near the cart?
I mean,
Doc
I'm driving the cart.
Doc's driving.
Driving the cart? Okay.
Yeah, Sarah's probably in the back of the cart sleeping.
I'll sit in the cart with you.
I'm sitting next to Doc. I've got my parasol out. I'm just twirling my parasol. It's a lovely day, Doctor. Oh, could you watch the potholes, please?
Okay. As they're riding forward, Doc is going to be staring intently at the next large pothole that he sees in the road. I'm watching it very carefully.
Roll me a D100.
Doc starts singing Surrey with the fringe on top from Oklahoma.
87.
I rolled an 85, so there was a 25% chance of this happening. Anybody? Well, actually, I guess probably Mizya in particular Assyria, you're laying down in the back, so you're
Oh,
gonna
yeah, she's
you're gonna get a
passed
little
out.
jostled. But Mizya, I want you to make a dexterity saving throw at advantage.
Oh no, with advantage. Phew.
There you go.
Well, you're seated, you're in the cart, you're kind of aware
Oh no.
the roads can be a little rough.
I take your face.
I rolled 2 1s.
Oh my god!
No! Oh my god!
That's
Let it
4.
happen.
4 for the skill check, but yeah.
Can I make a reflex save? I'm riding my horse beside the cart. Can I try to catch Mizya?
You can make a dexterity save as a
Thanks.
reaction. Actually, I'll let you
my
apply an
God.
athletics bonus to that.
You
Athletics
see,
bonus.
as Doc runs over this pothole, you see Mizya just whoa, straight over backwards. Parasol goes flying. It's like Gonzo in the
Yeah.
Muppets.
Yeah.
I got a 17.
Okay. You basically just sort of riding along. You see that pothole. You see the cart hit the pothole. And you see Mizya just get bounced up. And the cart jostles in just a way that when she comes back down, the cart's no longer where she was. But you're able to sort of put your hand out and kind of almost push her back into her
Like,
seat.
guide her back into the
Yeah.
seat. Okay. Yep.
Oh, Mizya, are you okay?
Oh my! Oh, that was quite the trip there.
Oh, you went almost in a complete circle. But you look chippy chappy now.
You're so-
I look around, I reach back, and I find the parasol was maybe fell in the back of the cart, and I pick it back up, and I'm just
You know,
start to our day.
Mizya, I had a thought that I think you would appreciate more than anyone.
Yes.
While I was not sleeping last night, I thought of a fun name for our little group of friends.
Ooh, do tell.
Yes, we should call ourselves the book club.
Oh,
Oh.
I like that idea. Doctor.
Because we were hired by Candlekeep to investigate scribes and scrolls and various mysteries, and we're a club of people who gather together for a singular mission, which is to unravel the mysteries, and they're usually about books.
Well, I'm not one to turn down a clever name, especially one that has to do with books. I for one, like this idea, Doctor.
Oh, thank you. What do you think, Assyria? And he's gonna look back over his shoulder, kind of.
Teera is probably at this point rubbing her back end as she was jostled by the pothole. It's intriguing. I think it's going to take a little bit of time for it to grow on me, but
The book club?
yeah.
It's made of paper, not fungus. It's unlikely to grow on you, but we can try.
Yeah, we could definitely try that. Mm-hmm. For sure. What does Teera and Vaughn think about this?
Only now, like that she's like directly addressed, does Teera like turn and look back. And you guys, if anybody, you'd probably notice she's been a little quiet today. She's a little bit tired. And it's just like, it's fine, whatever.
That doesn't really sound like you, Teera.
Nope, that's 3.
Teera shrugs.
No,
and kind
that's
of
an
ignores.
unsure.
Oh, that was a yes.
It's fine. That's it. Mizya's right. It's a yes. I don't care.
Good enough for me, Vaughn.
I've always wanted to be a part of a book club. When I was in the orc tribe, no books allowed. Like they came across, they smashed, tore them, burned them down, used them for firewood, ate some of them. Dwarves. I'm so happy. Yes. Me, book club. Yes, finally.
Right, we're the book club. Wonderful.
I think I'm
See Assyria like curl back up and go back to sleep, just very confused.
I reach over and I just kind of pat Doc on the hand.
I think I might be a genius.
Doc, roll me a D100.
$99.
Oh.
Oh no.
I rolled a
I don't-
69.
Nice.
Nice.
Ooh.
Okay. I'm not going to tell you what that was for, but
Oh.
We're all gonna die.
well, that Doc rolled 30 away from the number I rolled, but you don't know what the percent chance of whatever it was.
Mhm.
So you have an absolutely amazing day of travel. Aside from that one major pothole, the road is mostly comfortable to drive this cart along or ride your horses on, as it's still little more than a 2-track. You can tell you're in an area where people have not traveled much. You're far from a main roadway. And if there's anybody traveling out here, it's been a long time. The tracks are overgrown. So you're rolling over vegetation, which is sort of smoothing the ride.
So are you saying that there's one pothole for dozens of miles and I found it?
Pretty much. Maybe it was a pothole, maybe it was a rock, whatever it was, you found it. You rolled 2 away from what I rolled. There was no
It
way
was
that something
that
wasn't going to
effing
happen.
Tossed Mizya like a kid doing a double jump on a trampoline.
And yeah, so since that was the only pothole, I'll tell you what you avoided was it didn't cause the wheel to break. So you have a really fine day of travel. The weather holds out. You're able to make really good time. And nobody needs to roll for this because the view is so clear. You're mostly riding through grasslands. You do see the occasional distant forest. But you've been able to see off in the distant, growing ever larger, the 2 large stone monuments, if you will, of on the right, as you're looking at it, what you can clearly see looks like a giant hand reaching up into the sky. And on the left, a spire of rock. They appear from this distance like they could be fairly close, but you still don't know how far away you are. Unless you wish to stop for any particular reason, it does look like you might be able to make your way there within this travel day. Is there anything that you want to do as you begin getting closer and closer to this? Any special preparations, or is your plan to just ride through them? The closer you get, I will say that you can see that these monuments seem to have grown further apart. And as you get close enough for you to judge that you're probably within a few miles of where this is, maybe just a couple miles away, there's probably a good 2 to 4 miles between these 2 giant monuments. So you're a couple miles away. Is there anything you want to do as you approach them?
I can't remember exactly what was discussed, but was there anything dangerous hinted at this monument? I know there was mention of a few. This is where the harpies were.
Harpies, yeah.
Big harp.
Yeah, I'm casting mage armor as we get close.
Okay.
As we are approaching, Doc is going to be periodically blowing his signal whistle to make sure that we don't surprise anyone.
Okay, so a loud trilling whistle.
That's
Thorn
right.
hates that. You just hear him whining every time.
I have my sword out.
Um,
Ready to go.
Vorn slides down his seeing goggles, looking for harpies.
Your harpy goggles. Amazing.
All right. Anybody at this point, as you're all, I feel like you're all kind of just, as you're heading closer and closer, you're noticing one thing. Well, actually, make me perception checks.
Oh, I'm great at these.
I want to see to what degree you notice
Oh,
some
that's
of these
not
things.
fair. I
It
rolled
is
a
still daylight, right?
Yep.
Got a
I rolled a
19.
20, but I have disadvantage, so it's only a 13.
21 with disadvantage.
All right. 21 for
15.
Mizya, 15 for Doc, Vorn, and
19 for me.
19. Vorn, what do you got?
My goggles must be just foggy. I got power 9.
Teera,
Yeah.
Doc, and Mizya. The first thing you notice as you're walking along is the absence of any of the occasional bird song or even birds flying by. You're not anywhere near like a forest or anything, but you've seen, birds flying through the field, the occasional hawk. There's no birds around here. It's grown eerily still. The sound of the cart going across the path has almost seems to be amplified. This rickety creaking and clunking along the horse's hooves. The road, you can see, is taking you towards the hand, and it looks like it actually hooks around the hand and then veers sharply towards the sort of the directions east, towards the horn, which, as you're getting closer, of course, this has drawn you very close to the hand, which is looks to be rising about 100 feet high in the air. It's probably a good, I would say, about 30 feet at its base. You can see crumbling stone piles at the base. You can see that there are marks further up where this appears to have been, it appears to have been shaped by someone, but roughly so. Like maybe somebody saw the shape of the hand and the stonework, and somehow, some way, somebody shaped this. The vegetation is getting thinner and doesn't seem to be as vibrant as you approach either. You're now approaching to about a half mile away from this.
As we're approaching, Doc is going to shout out, excuse me, is anybody there? Hello?
You don't hear any response.
Okay.
I kind of like, at this point I'm riding along and I just kind of ride a little closer to Doc and I'm like, Doc, I don't think you should call out to anybody.
Why?
Announce our position, because what if somebody out there isn't friendly, Doc?
You're kind of ringing the dinner bell, essentially.
I always thought that the creatures that are out in the world are just friends you haven't met yet.
They're not. They're not. That's wrong. I'm sorry. I can't even be cutesy about it. That's not correct, Doc. That's not right.
But what if they're just misunderstood?
Doc, it's not right. And then Teera kind of like shakes her head and I'm gonna ride ahead a little bit. Doc, quit making so much noise. And Teera rides forward probably 30-40 feet ahead of the cart.
Okay.
I missed it. Do I have a horse too, or am I on a cart?
Yeah, you're on a. The only ones not on horseback are Mizya, Assyria, and Doc. There is an extra horse because Assyria is not riding right now.
Okay.
Ah, sweet.
Vorn just kind of says, Teera, wait up, and kind of gallops and catches up.
Teera doesn't slow down.
Vorn looks at Teera. What's Tira's countenance right now?
What did you say?
What's
Tira's what?
like her expression?
Tira's just, she looks tired. She looks like she's mildly annoyed. She's trying to focus on the task at hand, but you can tell there's like something else on her mind.
Vorn just notices and just tries to keep pace.
So Teera and Vorn, you've moved ahead of the cart by, you said, about 30 feet or so?
Yep.
Okay. Both of you go ahead and give me either perception, investigation, or survival checks. I will let you choose.
Perception, investigation, or survival, huh? Perception. My survival check is a 17.
Okay. Vorn?
Vorn is like just trying to read Tira's body language and is distracted and is not really trying to look around the world and throws a power
And that's
9.
why you got a what?
Power 9.
Damn.
Teera, you notice now as you're approaching ever closer, the road seems to hook around to the right side of the hand, going fairly close to it. You're starting to see, as you get closer and closer, by now it's completely barren around the base, mostly from all of the rock fall, and the ground is almost like gravel. The cart is already behind you. The others can feel the cart is taking on a bit of a vibration. The road is got that kind of roughness to it. But Teera, you notice that scattered in amongst the stones are broken bones of animals. It's really hard to tell what they are unless you actually get down and take a closer look at them, but you do see a few bones scattered here and there.
Okay. Are they like on top or in amongst, or like
Yes.
what? Everything and all? Okay.
A little bit of both. Yeah,
Okay.
you see that there's some sort of old gray bones that are blended in, and some that are a little cleaner that are on top.
Okay. Teera would just kind of look over at Vorn and like sort of nod over at that pile. Like,
Not so
"See
much a
that?
pile as they're just sort of scattered around the base.
Around the, yeah, I say, see all of them.
Yeah, them bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see them.
Doc, are you still intermittently blowing your whistle?
No.
Choose your words.
Okay.
But
You have chosen wisely.
Watching Gary try to anticipate the story hook right there, that was
Yep.
something. So-
Yeah.
Excellent. That means it's much more easier for you to all hear this. You begin to hear this sort of distant
Oh.
it just seems to carry through the air, and never have I wished more that I had a singing voice.
That was pretty good.
I'll take it, yeah.
What's the Halo song?
As
That's-
yeah, you start hearing the Halo
Right.
music.
so
I
are you
recog-
saying that my heroic whistling would have protected us from the harpy song?
I'm not saying anything.
Would have swooped
I-
in and fucking snatched us. That's what.
Would I recognize the sound or
Well-
understand what it is? Or
First, I need you all to make a wisdom saving throw
Oh,
as you hear this
no.
music.
Oh, I'm so good at these. This is going to be great.
And I will let you know, in case you didn't notice, you all have gained 6 additional domain tomes thanks to the wonderful Goblin Katie, who resubbed and then gave out 5 community subs.
go ahead and I think I'm going to do this.
I got a 4.
I got a 16.
Okay.
I got a
I
5.
got a 16.
I'm 25% better than Teera,
Yeah, congratulations.
and yet still a failure.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 20. I have disadvantage. I rolled a 1.
Oh.
Now-
You need to re-roll that, bro. You need to re-roll.
Is-
No, I'm gonna allow
Is
it.
there anybody
Yeah.
here that has immunity or advantage versus being charmed?
I
Ooh,
do.
I don't because I'm human. I always play half elves.
I do. Half elves do.
I don't
So,
think
but it
half
would have
orcs
just
do.
made it flat.
So, yeah, but which did you roll first?
I rolled a 20 first.
So that would be the number that you have because you rolled flat.
Mhm.
Nice.
So you
nice, nice.
22
succeed.
then.
Vorn succeeds. Mizya, what'd you get?
16.
Doc, what do you got?
5.
And Teera, you got a 4.
4.
Oh no.
As you all
Yeah, away from
begin to
me.
hear this music, Mizya, go ahead and make me a history check.
I'll go ahead and re-roll that one.
Okay. So that's going to be 3.
That is a 24.
Okay.
Nice.
Nat 20 on the die.
So
Slay.
the way this happens is that as this music begins to filter its way through the air and you all hear it, Doc and Teera, you both become incapacitated. Doc, the reins just sit limply in your hands. Teera, your hand sort of falls limp to your side. Make me a dexterity check real quick.
Okay. It's okay. Just a
Just
dex
straight
check.
dex.
Straight dex. 12.
You do manage to keep the sword in your hand, but is now hanging limply at your side.
Ugh.
This is a great sword or a long sword? I keep forgetting.
This is a great sword.
Mizya, you notice next to you, Doc seems to be wide-eyed, looking around, but is no longer driving the cart actively. The next sound you hear is Teera's sword tip striking stone, and then you hear it dragging through the stone as she, next to you, next to the cart, is just sort of riding and seems to also be looking around. Actually, I need to check something real quick. I didn't think about this. Nobody ever thinks about the horses.
No. What?
And
Why?
I need you
They
to make.
don't understand this language.
They're dumber than cows.
I need you to. I need you to Assyria to make a save for Soren as well,
Yep, I was gonna ask.
because this
Oh, he's such a good boy. He's such a good boy.
is so. Yeah, we'll just use that. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'll even show it. I got a 19 plus 1. He got a dirty 20. He's a-
Fortunately, the horse that is pulling the cart just seems to not noticing that Doc is no longer actively driving it. It just sort of stops moving.
Hmm.
And Teera and Vorn, your horses and the horse that's been following along. I don't know if one of you've had it kind of lashed to you or holding the lead, or if its lead is next
I
to the
assumed it was
wagon.
tied to the wagon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Vorn and Teera, your horses begin moving purposefully toward the spire of the hand. and the horse tied to the wagon is now sort of pulling at the back of the wagon. Mizya, you absolutely 100% have no doubt that the sounds you have heard and that is affecting everything and everyone around you, with the exception of Vorn, who seems to have maintained his wits, and Assyria, it is the song of a harpy.
So as I hear the song and I notice, as soon as I hear it, I close my parasol and kind of set it down behind me, and then I notice what's happening to Teera and Doc beside me. Hobbies. And I reach into my robe and I pull out my quill, and I just start scanning around, see if I can find it or them.
All right, go ahead and make a investigation check since you're actively looking.
While Dwight is making that roll, Ricky, your daughter just startled me. I looked down for 1 second. I looked up and she was looking right into the camera over your shoulder. I love her immediately.
That's a 22.
Okay. So, Mizya, you have advantage on your you will have advantage on your initiative roll as you see the 4 harpies that are descending straight at you from the spire of the hand.
I just kind of
You just kind of what?
Hiss at them.
Hiss. Yeah. And
So yeah,
I'm gesturing in that direction for anybody that's paying attention.
Etheria is probably at this point sitting straight up, kind of sensing that something is off, and trying to kind of, 'cause she's hearing the noise too, so she's probably honing in on where Mizya is looking around as well.
so go ahead, everybody, and roll initiative.
Oh boy!
Mizya, you will do so with advantage. Let me check something. I don't think you have any penalties to your initiative roll. Those of you that
Not from being charmed, I don't think.
Assyria does because of exhaustion,
Oh, yeah.
but you are incapacitated, which just means that well, it just means that you can't take actions, reactions, or bonus actions. So you basically are just there listening to this sound, Doc and Teera. So let's go ahead and get your Assyria, your initiative.
That is a 9.
Mizya.
16.
Perfect. Teera.
15.
Doc.
20.
Vorn.
What was that, Ricky?
Muted.
You're muted.
Is he?
You're still muted.
Put it up
Oh.
on your hands, Ricky. I think there's something wrong with your mic in the meantime. Put it up on your hands.
Or in the chat. Check your mic. Did you mute your mic?
He got
11.
an 11.
11 or 16, I don't know.
That was an 11.
It's not going to be a 16 if it's Ricky. It's going to be an
Yeah,
11.
11.
There we go. No offense, Ricky.
You might have to unplug and replug your
How
mic.
dare you?
All right, let me just roll real quick. So that's
Dang it.
okay. So, real quick as we're sort of getting this started, it is important to note that Mizya, you also know that because you and Assyria and Vorn seem to have avoided being charmed by this sound, you are immune for 24 hours to the song of the harpies. Teera and Doc, all you know is that you want to get as close as possible to whoever is singing. So when it is your turn, I will tell you where you are moving.
Okay.
So first in the order is going to be Doc.
Okay.
You hear the music coming from the hand 100 feet in the air. You know that you need to get to it. It's just important that you get to where this song is, which means you are going to use all of your movement to go to the base and begin climbing.
How far away is it?
At this point, you probably have enough movement to get to the base of the hand.
Okay. So they'll do that.
Next up, I would like somebody to please roll me a D4, and then I will make a note.
Not it.
I got it. 4.
Ugh.
Test.
Okay,
You got it, Ricky.
got you,
That's on.
Ricky.
All right. Sorry, I had to change the settings in Zoom. I had an
Oh, yeah.
update. It was weird. I like a random update hit my mic, and okay, we're cool now. Sorry.
It happens.
Good, no worries.
All good.
No worries. Okay, 4. Perfect.
That's gonna be 4 rounds of something. I
Put
just
that
know
where
it.
I can see it. Mizya, you are up next.
And you said that I do see these 4 harpies coming at us,
Yes,
correct?
they are wings swept
Nice.
back. They are descending, and they are, we'll say they are 60 feet overhead.
I point and how close are they to each other? Are they grouped tightly, or are they?
They are... They are about 10 feet apart from each other.
Okay. I am going to point my quill at the second one from the left.
Okay.
And I cast Shatter.
Nice.
Oh my
Okay.
god, yes, dude.
So it is a 10-foot
that.
radius, so the 2 on either side of it are going to be affected as well.
You can only affect 10-foot radius, not
Radius.
Yeah,
diameter.
that means a 20-foot
Yep.
diameter.
Yes.
Hashtag
Yep.
math.
Right.
Yep.
That's
Far be
question.
it for me
Final
to.
answers.
I should have known better than to question Dwight's mathematical
I
tactics
put it in
here.
a spreadsheet. I calculated
Yeah.
everything.
So I believe
Getting
that's
Pythagoras up in the shit.
I believe that's a
Hashtag Euclid. What?
that's a con save.
Constitution saving throw, DC 12.
Hold on, I screwed something up here. DC 12. I'll roll that in a second. I messed up. I didn't add. I didn't add modifiers. I just added what I rolled to the initiative rolls, which does, of course, always make a difference. It doesn't really. I don't think it changes. No, nothing changes in what we've done so far, so we're all good. Okay, so con saves from these 3 harpies. That's a fail. That is a fail. And so the one you targeted fails. The one on the left fails. The one on the right makes the save, and you see it sort of bank out of the way, and maybe a few feathers just sort of.
So yeah, this
How much damage do they take?
Purple sphere of lightning and thunder
God.
just like erupts on top of the one in the middle. They take 14 points on a fail and 7 on a save.
Nice.
Okay,
Brutal.
so 14. Oops. I said 14 and then I clicked heal on accident.
Oh no. That's the opposite of what we want.
Something else happens with this because shatter has an interesting effect on stone, wood, and all that sort of stuff, in that it's treated like a critical, which means it does max damage.
Oh my god, if 2 of these things just go boom, I
No,
would be so happy.
to stone, such as the hand
The
is made
hand?
of.
Yeah.
A
So
big
max damage?
a big section of stone breaks apart, and I would like you, because they're 60 feet up, I would like you to roll. Boy.
Oh God.
We've stuck
Okay, I want you to roll me 6d10. Or sorry, 66, not 6010. 66.
We're gonna change the landscape. We're terraforming this bitch.
Yep.
Sorry, Cari. It's 24 points.
Ooh.
Doc takes 24 points of bludgeoning damage
Whoa.
as rocks from this shatter rain down on top of him.
I think as this happens, Mizya's just kind of cackling at the damage that they've done to these harpies, but immediately just kind of recoils in shock as they see these rocks falling down at Doc.
As you get struck, Doc, by all of these rocks falling from on high, I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw again.
God. Oh, maybe this will snap you back.
Yeah.
7.
Maybe not.
Whatever these rocks are, they are merely the percussion to this incredible vocal that you hear from on high, and you still need to get up to them.
It's like Adele. It's the most perfect vocalization ever.
Or like Whitney Houston's national
Mhm.
anthem.
Yes,
Mhm.
nationally up.
Mhm.
100%. It's that.
Mizya, anything else?
Just recoiling in horror at what I've done to my friend. But no.
Mizya has friends.
Yeah, as you see this, as you see for the moment, the feathers go flying, you can see they're close enough that you can now see that these are, the visages are that of women, with their face, their upper torso, their chest, but you see the wings and you see the lower body that is talons and feathers, and some of these feathers go flying, and there's just this shattering of stone, and the camera sort of crash zooms in as Mizya realizes what they've done, and you follow these stones down where they just crash, cutting and bludgeoning into Doc, who staggers momentarily but continues in his efforts to reach the tower. We whip pan over to Teera, whose horse is not moving fast enough for her. Teera, you dismount, still dragging your sword behind you. You will also use your movement to close the distance to the base of the hand, where you will begin climbing.
Yep.
Vorn.
Vorn pulls out one of his hand axes and feels the psionic power flow through him as he takes one of his hand axes and throws it at the harpy that managed to dodge Mizya's first attack. Is this harpy within 30 feet?
They're 60 feet away at the moment.
Okay. Oh, well, I have to wait till they're 30 feet. I only have a range of 30 feet.
You can... A
Can you,
hand axe,
save
I
his
believe, is
action?
60 at disadvantage. If I'm not mistaken, they're 30-60. It should say on your character sheet.
Yeah, 2060.
Oh, 2060. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can roll
there-
at disadvantage to make the attack. Sorry, what were we saying,
I
Cari?
apologize. I was going to ask, is there a mechanic where you can like hold an action? Like if the harpy does X, I
Yes,
do
you can
Y?
hold an action.
Yeah, so Vorn is going to he braces and does this weird quasi Dragon Ball Z stance where he puts his hand
What?
out and the rocks and the bone fragments kind of start lifting around him as he gathers his psionic energy. And he's holding this power, and he's just feeling it coursing through, and it kind of feels like magnetic, but also energizing. And he's just kind of holding it and the bones and the stones only lifting like maybe 2 or 3 feet. They're not raising up high. They're just kind of lifting up as he holds his
Like
whole
Right.
axe.
rumbling above.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
He's just holding his turn for that.
Okay.
Oh, and then he slides down his goggles.
Naturally. Free
Perfect.
action. His harpy killing goggles,
Harpy
which
killing
are different
goggles.
than his harpy noticing goggles.
Yeah.
Correct.
The harpies fly down using their full movement. They get to within 20 feet of everyone, but 2 of them break off and seem to give an extra burst as the other ones are sort of flying and beginning to flare their wings as they approach. The other 2 sort of sweep their wings back and scream with a heading towards Doc and Teera. But they had to dash to do so, so they do not have any more action. Assyria, it is your turn.
All right. Asteria will quickly get out of the back of the cart, saying to someone, "Bacon time." As she grabs her bow and she is now aiming for the harpies that are heading off towards Teera and Doc. As she does so, you see a burst of green and white energy flare up around her eyes and go shooting in that one of the harpies directions that's going that way. She's casting Hunter's Mark as she is going to let loose her arrow.
Which one are you marking?
Oh,
I'll go for the one that's going for Teera.
And just to be clear, when I say that they're going for them, they have reached them. Their movement did allow them to reach. So they're basically talons down and grasping at or attacking at either of these 2. So, okay. Perfect. So it's marked.
Actually, hang on. If that's the case, then she's going to aim for the one for Doc, seeing that Doc just took a crap ton of damage.
Okay.
well, fine.
And then,
Sorry,
but
Teera.
Vorn is holding his action, so he has Tira's back.
What were you holding for specifically for them to come in range?
Yeah. 20, 30,
They are in range.
Get him.
Let me know when I'll let Assyria go first, and then I'll release mine.
I'll allow it.
Normally, Ricky, you would have to go first.
Yeah.
I would have to.
Because,
Okay.
As soon as, but it doesn't matter.
I didn't want to
probably
step on
doesn't
what
matter.
Assyria was.
No,
doing.
it's fine.
No,
It's fine. Because you have any one of the 4 targets you can aim for as well.
That is going to be a 22 to hit.
That is going to hit.
Okay. So that is going to be 13. 17 points of damage as she is just basically, as that harpy is like about to screech at Doc and Teera specifically, just aiming right for the throat just to shut it up. So she is just trying to nuisance, let it fly.
So I'm checking for something. Oh, where did it go? Let me just check real quick.
This is so nerve-wracking.
There we go. All right. Okay. It saved. It took more than half of its hit points and damage. So I had it make a con save versus system shock, and it saved.
Oh,
Hey, if I'm going to hold you to these
Yeah.
these rules, I'm holding my monsters to these rules as well.
yeah, that is awesome.
So yeah, that is, you see that you hit this harpy. It's about to dig its claws in the dock, and you hit it, and you actually cause it to almost spin in a 360 from the arrow hitting it. And it seems to flounder for a moment in the air. The arrow has pierced through the front of its shoulder and out its back, so it's in one side and out the other.
Free action, and this will be the last thing that Assyria does on her turn, is she's just going to, even though her chest is still hurting from turning and everything, she is going to muster up what strength she has and yell, "Doc, Teera, wake up!" as her turn ends.
All right. All right.
Do
That
still want me
takes-
to throw my axe has the other one's flying down.
Oh yeah, that's
or-
right. You have your turn, your held action. So,
Yeah.
which one do you want to go for?
The one that's swooping down on Teera is one swooping down on Teera,
Yep.
correct?
Sure.
All right. So as
Thanks,
it's swooping
Born.
as it's swooping down on Teera, Vorn yells out, him, ak, and then throws out his.
Him. I'm writing that down.
You don't.
It's Kamehameha backwards.
Yep,
I
I
know
picked
what
up
it
on
is.
that right away.
Sounds
Yep.
very orcish,
Yep.
and that's really clever.
I love
So I'm
it.
writing it down.
All right. Let's see. So I'm going to.
That's perfect.
So Jake, quick question: as I'm using my psionic force, should I throw it with my natural, or should I throw it with the psionic power, or do I get a boost for it?
That is a great question. I think that I am doing an okay job of stalling while I open your character sheet.
The psionic doesn't have the plus to it, but just throwing it naturally does have a plus to it.
Well, you get the plus no matter what.
Okay.
So the way the psionic ability works is, you're talking about the psionic strike?
Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking of it wrong. We'll just throw the axe for now, and we'll come back to the psionic strike.
So the psionic strike lets you, so you'll
push,
make
right?
your attack as normal.
Okay.
You can spend the psionic energy die, which means you can, if you hit, you can add an extra d6 of force damage to the target.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you still roll with the same pluses and everything you normally would.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
And that's a 17.
That is going to hit.
Nice.
Nice. Get him, man. Get
So I'm
him.
gonna throw the.
Also, just housekeeping, and since you can't see my counter, the D4 counter is now at 3.
No, good to know.
No.
The hand axe itself
Crap.
does 5, and then the psionic force does an extra 5.
Did you roll to hit?
Oh, the psionic or the hand axe?
The hand axe. You don't have to
Yeah,
roll
the
to hit
hand-
with the psionic. Oh, that's right. You
Okay.
rolled a 17.
Correct. So 10 points of damage.
So many numbers floating around my head.
It's a story
There's
problem.
harpies and. Okay, yeah. Sorry, you did 5 plus 5, so 10 total damage
Correct.
to this one. So yeah, you see as you throw this axe and it just perfectly balanced. You know how to throw this thing. Arcs nicely through the air and just does one complete revolution, but it seems to be moving with just this extra force behind it as you say this phrase in orc, and all of those hovering bones and stones just seem to disperse around you, like creating like a wake as the axe hurls through, hits this harpy above Teera, and embeds in part of her chest. And she screams out as you have struck her for
Oh
10
my
points of
God.
damage. But she is still up.
Yeah. Vorn just readies his great axe and prepares to charge.
And Doc, you are still under the influence of this. So what you need to do is I need you to make a athletics check as you begin climbing.
Does Assyria's warning of wake up maybe trigger another wisdom check?
Unfortunately it doesn't. It gets
Okay.
lost and caught into the screaming of the harpies, and
That's
it
all
doesn't
right.
really have any effect.
17.
You are able to find footholds and handholds in the jagged rock. And you begin climbing. What is your movement speed?
30.
You make it 15 feet up the face of this rock on this turn. Mizya.
15 feet is high.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
an overpass on a highway.
Yeah, yeah.
So they
yeah.
all 4 of these are still up and flying around, correct?
Two of them are basically the one didn't take an opportunity attack against Doc. Has an arrow in it and is at ground level, more or less. The one above Teera has a hand axe embedded in its chest and is also at ground level. The other two are 20 feet in the air.
I'm going to again. I will just hiss yet again, and I will point my quill at the two that are in the air. I am going to cast magic missile on 4 of these black and purple darts.
All right, so straight up roll damage.
That is 5 to the first one. And 8 for the second one.
All right, so you see these purple and black quills, purple energy flying through the air and striking these flying harpies. More feathers go flying as they are clearly upset by what you've done. Teera.
Okay.
There is
now I will point out, not only does Syria yell at me, but also Vorn very effing nailed the one that is attacking me or is like swooping by me.
You know, in the movies when that great scene in Pirates of the Caribbean when the commander is walking down the deck of the ship as everything's exploding around him, this is you moving toward there's this slow motion hatchet striking. You can almost see Assyria yelling, but you can't hear. All you can hear is this.
Is it like Ariel, Little Mermaid?
Yeah. Keep singing.
As you, there is this sort of distant, echoey, metallic clattering sound as you drop your greatsword. And you begin climbing. Make an athletics check to move half your distance, your speed up this cliff face.
I only got an 8 on my athletics check.
You get a few feet up and you just begin scrabbling. You slide back down.
I imagine that like a rock piece breaks off.
Yeah. But it doesn't wait. Basically, you climb a few feet up, you slide down, scraping your arms, your hands up a little bit, and you immediately just start trying to climb your way
keep going
back up again. Vorn, it is your turn.
Vorn is charging towards the harpy that he just hit with the axe. Do I cross the distance in one turn?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Yeah, I cross the distance and do a jumping leap attack. And I'm shouting, die, horrendous, treacherous creature. And as I bring the axe down on top of, try to hit this.
Are you doing a Brad Pitt in what was it, in
Troy?
where these just
Troy, yep.
High up, heels kicked back.
Correct.
More slow-mo. Go ahead and roll the dice and see if this supports your awesome action.
There we go. 19.
All right. All right. So go ahead and roll damage.
I'm re-rolling that damage because that's too awesome to take 3 points of damage. We are re-rolling that.
Wait. 3 points?
Yeah, it said 6.
It said 6.
That's still not enough for me.
Oh, you must have rolled the 3 plus. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can re-roll for 3 domain tomes.
Oh.
New roll?
You got the same thing, didn't
No,
you?
you got lower. You got one lower.
Oh, Ricky. I'm so sorry, man.
It's okay.
Sorry. Goblin Katie, this is a call. We need you to send Ricky some dice because they're clearly bewitched and we need your help.
Goblin Katie, if you do send me dice, I probably won't roll into the next campaign because I'm committed to this electronic format that I'm doing.
Committed to the bullshit that
Vorn,
keeps hurting me.
Yeah.
You swing and you do manage to connect, and you slice at flesh and you slice at feathers, and you see the arc of blood and you hear the harpy scream, and as you land next to Teera where she's trying to climb, you unfortunately don't do as much damage as you had hoped, but you did do damage nonetheless.
Is Tyr within arm's length of me?
Yep.
All right. Vorn is going to reach out with one arm as he's holding the axe and try to pull her off of, like the way you try to pull a 4-year-old off of a slide when it's time to go home.
You can reach out and sort of put your hand on her, but you can't can't try to stop her this turn because you've used your action.
That's fine.
Doc, I have an important question for you.
Uh-oh.
How much does Doc weigh?
Oh, 300 pounds or so, maybe 350.
Gigantic.
The harpy digs its talons into your shoulders.
Oh no!
It flies
this
up
is
to
what
you,
the bones are from.
digs its talons into your shoulders, and begins furiously flapping its wings. I am now going to make an athletics check.
Oh no!
A harpy, or anybody, their lift capability is 30 times what their strength score is.
Oh. Psh.
She digs her claws into your shoulders, flapping furiously, and she cannot get you to rise any higher. She can't pull
He's
you
too
off the
big.
face of this cliff. Instead, she rips her claws out of you.
Oh.
Oh no.
Doc.
For a dirty 20,
Oh, that'll hit.
He's already hurt.
you're gonna
Things
take
went real bad.
6 points of slashing damage,
Okay.
and I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Stay conscious, bro. Stay conscious. Snap
Come
out of it,
on.
Doc.
15.
You actually, as she rips at your shoulders, you suddenly hear the song in your head turn from this just alluring, incredible voice to horrific screeching of the harpy
Yes.
immediately above you, and you are no longer charmed.
Oh,
It still has one more attack.
Well,
As
I'm unconscious already, so
oh,
I
wait.
fall to the ground.
okay, so that attack knocked you unconscious.
Yep.
You are going to immediately gain one failed death save as you fall 15 feet. Because that's enough to roll damage. You watch as Doc falls 15 feet onto the rocks below.
Mm.
I have to think about this a second.
I don't give a shit. I'm climbing.
So the
up toward
harpy-
dell.
The harpy attacked you. You fell
Mhm.
because you got knocked unconscious. That gives you a failed death save.
Mm-hmm.
The harpy still has one more attack.
Oh,
Oh no.
I'm up on the cliff though. Doc is clearly taken care of. I'm not
Here's the thing.
alive.
Doc has one failed death save.
Oh.
Who's the
If
threat,
the harpy
though?
hits, it is considered a critical hit,
Yeah.
which is two failed death
Two.
saves.
Oh my god.
An unconscious creature is incapacitated, can't move. The creature drops whatever it's holding, falls prone. The creature automatically fails. That and that. Attack rolls have advantage. This is happening. Okay. The creature's attacking with advantage. as she drops down.
We can make him re-roll, team. Let's not forget that.
That is a 4 and an 18.
Reroll it.
Re-roll the
Reroll.
18. Yep,
Reroll.
yep. Take 5.
5 dice to re-roll the 18.
100% easy choice. Not even a
Yeah.
freaking judgment call.
Re-rolling the same die. The new roll.
No, it's better.
I'm going to take a photo
You
of this.
suck. Damn it. It's good. It's like a 19. It's
And I'm
No,
going to
Jake's
post it
playing
in
not
our
really
Discord. Just because I want you to all see this.
son of a bitch.
Reroll it.
Okay.
Oh, do it again.
Reroll
Yeah,
it,
do
reroll
it again. Screw you.
That was a
Again,
natural
again.
20 on that die. You're going
Oh.
to use the last reroll, DM reroll that you have available.
Yes. Yes.
Mm. Doc doesn't die with domain tomes on the board.
No,
No.
sir. No, sir. Use a
Hold on.
different die too, you son of a bitch.
You don't get to tell me which die to use, though.
That's true. That's fair.
But I will roll a different die. Hold on. I screwed something up with the bonus
Can't
here.
sit
Hold
down.
on.
I need
Yeah,
to
we should
I
stand.
need to turn the
I gotta
bonus
stand up.
off.
I can't.
There's no longer a bonus.
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to grab neither of the dice I rolled first.
Himak. We're making that a thing, Ricky. I'm not shitting you. That's the cleverest thing.
I have rolled the new roll.
Which is?
Doc, what is your armor class?
16.
The harpy gets a +3 to hit as she screams down at you with a club in hand. But as she swings, the arrow that is piercing through her shoulder causes her to slam her club into the stones next to you.
Oh, yes.
What? Yes, dude.
I rolled a 7 on that new roll. And I think that's a great place. Yeah, that's a great place to take a break. There's still 3 more harpies. There's still 3 more harpies to attack. But we're going to go ahead and take a break on that high adrenaline moment. Unless you want to power through the fight.
I'm all for powering through.
I'm
honestly.
power through it.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Are you guys good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Side note, any of you could just step away and pee like
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Okay.
We're
Let's
we're
power
in the
through.
comfort of our own homes
next
here. Let's
harpy-
freaking go,
That's
dude.
stressful.
The next
Yes.
harpy, Teera, how much do you weigh?
Oh, God.
Teera weighs probably. Oh, I wrote it down. Wow, I was detailed. 190 pounds.
The harpy cannot lift you either as she attempts to.
Hmm.
Same thing. She swipes her claws at you. That is a critical hit. As she strikes into you, so crits, just as a reminder, are max damage, then roll. So that is going to be an automatic 9 points of damage. Plus total of 13 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
That is a critical hit, slashing. Goblin Katie has just jumped in to
Goblin
return your bonus die to you.
I've been messaging her like in panic.
we love you.
We love you,
Katie.
Goblin Katie.
Thank you, Goblin.
Oh,
So-
thank you.
The-
bro.
The slashing that you are going to be taking, I have to find it here. We're going to do torso. Cari, roll me a d20. You determine your own brutal wound.
7. Why do I get a brutal wound? I thought it
Because that
only
was a
if I took
critical
half.
hit. Critical
Oh, it
hits
was
trigger
a
brutal
crit.
wounds.
I
Yeah.
apologize. I couldn't remember. My
More
bad.
than half is system shock.
That was it.
So
7
the
is
talons flash out quickly. The claws strike across your chest and send you spinning around in pain.
God.
So you are, as you're spun around, one, make me a wisdom saving throw. Two, you are disoriented and will have disadvantage on your next turn.
Holy shit. Okay, I would like to. Can I roll with advantage on the wisdom check, please, for one tome?
Yep.
I'm gonna do that. My wisdom check is a 17.
As you feel the pain of this strike and you're spun around, the song seems to just leave your head and you're filled with blood and rage. As you see this harpy sort of in a blur, she is going to take her second attack against you. And that is only an 11.
not hit
As
me.
she swipes the club, you hear the club swing overhead. And just as a note, Vorn, this is all happening right next to you as well.
Wait, I thought I was. Am I up on the cliff?
No, you
I
couldn't
thought I
make it
was-
up.
Oh,
You failed
right.
your athletics check, so you didn't actually
I
climb
didn't
up.
make it up. I apologize. I thought I climbed up still, but not as high
Nope,
as. Doc.
you
So
just
I didn't climb
didn't
up
make
at all.
it.
Sick. That's great. Okay.
Assyria,
Yes.
it is your turn.
Okay. She is going to start moving over into Doc and Tira's direction. And she is going to noose another arrow at the one that she's already injured. That's got the arrow through its shoulder. And she's just gonna let it fly. Sorry, I'm like nervous to roll right now. Okay. That is going to be a 16 a hit.
It's a hit.
Okay. 12, 13, 14, 15. 16 points of damage as she nooses another arrow.
Nice.
Just trying to shut it up as quickly as she can. And she's moving as she's letting the arrow fly.
This
into
is
Doc's
this
direction.
harpy who had just slammed her club into the ground next to Doc's head, having just flown down intending to finish him. She suddenly whips her head up and looks just in time as she screeches for Assyria's arrow to fly into her open mouth and out the back of her head. And she collapses dead next to
Oh.
Doc.
Does the camera follow the arrow through?
Oh yeah, it's a Skyrim kill shot.
Awesome.
It's a Skyrim kill shot, slow
As it should
motion.
be. Yes.
And there is one other harpy that is next to Teera, that is at ground level. It's Soren's turn.
Bacon time.
time.
Bacon time. So Assyria, if she can, she's gonna use her full movement to get almost like she's standing in front of Doc, taking a defensive stance in front of him as Soren is taking off towards the other harpy. He's gonna go ahead. Let's see. And use pack tactics since Tira's right there.
Yep.
So let's do the bite attack. That is going to be a 17 to hit.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Nice.
Okay. Alright, that is going to be 9 points of damage, and the harpy must make a strength saving
Doesn't
throw to be
matter.
knocked prone. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Soren leaps over as Teera, you sort of, for flavor's sake, you're not prone or anything, but as you got, you kind of got spun around from that critical hit, you sort of drop to one knee
Yeah.
as this club whiffs over your head. Soren comes charging and barely puts his paws on your shoulders as he leaps up and rips the throat out of this harpy,
Oh, that is awesome.
killing that harpy that had exactly 9 hit points left.
Oh,
Oh!
nice.
One last thing, Jake, if I can move my hunter's mark to one of the remaining harpies.
You absolutely can.
Perfect, thank you. That's it for me and Soren.
What?
We are at the top of a new round. The counter has moved from 3 to 2. Doc, it is your turn. You need to make a death saving throw. Keep in mind, a 1 is a critical fail and counts as 2 death saves.
Gary, you should do this with advantage. Gary, advantage. I won't give you shit. This is the one time I will not give you shit for using one of the tomes.
Gary looks like he's rolled his die.
Success.
Okay. That's 1 success and 1 fail for Doc, who has done literally nothing this entire encounter of his own accord. Through no fault of his own. Okay. Mizya.
And so how many harpies are
There are
left
2
now?
harpies about 20 feet up in the air. And 2 dead harpies now on the ground. Doc is unconscious with with Assyria standing defensively.
Are there any other party members or any stone pillars near these 2 that are flying in the air?
They are
Great
20
question.
feet in the air, so nobody is near them.
No.
But okay. And are they all still 10 feet apart?
They're still 10 feet from each other.
I'm going to use my arcane recovery to recover a level 2 spell slot.
I thought you could only do that on a rest.
I get it once per day after finishing a short rest. So
Right, that's
I've
as
not
part
done
that's as part of the short rest.
nope, once per day when you finish a short rest. Oh, so it's part of the short rest?
Yes, you have to. Let me just double check that, but I believe as part of your short rest, that's the allows wizards to gain spell slots back that they normally would
Yeah.
only get during a long rest. You cannot. I don't believe you can use it
Okay.
just
Then I will
on
not
the
do
fly.
I need to have a chat with the author of that spell. I don't like the way that it's worded.
the
Is that regulation?
That's once per day when you finish a short rest, you can choose
feel like
expended
we're
spell
missing a
slots to
comma
recover.
here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or
there's a
a
punctuation.
Once per day when you
Clarification,
finish a
comma.
short rest, you can choose expended spell slots to recover.
All right, so we won't do that then. What I will do is I will just once again launch. This time it will be 3 magic missiles.
Okay.
So 2 at one and one at the other. So the first one is going to take 8 points of damage, and the second one is going to take 4 points of damage.
8 and 4.
Yes.
So yeah, these hit both of these harpies again square. More feathers go flying. Angry screeches. As they are more or less hovering in the air up there. Anything else, Mizya?
No, because you won't let me do the thing I want to do. Jerk.
Wow.
Whoa.
I feel like
Okay.
that's one of those things where you tell a teacher you gave me a grade when really it's you earned that grade.
Mm.
I
Teera,
Okay.
it is your
accept
turn.
that criticism.
There are none in there's still 20 feet up, yeah?
There are 2 that are flying 20 feet in the air.
Okay.
You are technically not prone. You're just flavor-wise, you're down on one knee.
Okay.
Your sword is on the ground right next to you.
Great. I'm not going to use it. I want to pull out the bow that I got from the smith in Candlekeep. And I want to try to shoot one of these out of the sky, please.
Okay,
Here I go.
fire away.
Here I go. Oh, yeah. I got a 16 to hit it.
Nice.
It's gonna hit.
Nice, 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 nice.
Left or right?
Left.
Okay,
Whichever one is closer to Doc.
be the left one.
The left one? Okay. That's 7 points of damage.
Your arrow flies true and strikes into this one, piercing into its side. You see the blood sort of arc out and begin dripping down, but it's still flying.
Okay. I would, as a bonus action, like to rage.
Nice.
Yes. And so I get an extra attack when I'm raging. Do I get that this turn or next?
You get it as soon as you start raging.
As soon as I start raging. That's what
Yeah.
I was. Well, I was wondering if it's like on the same
I
turn.
mean,
I meant
unless
to
you-
say I raged at the beginning of this turn, if that matters.
That's
I just-
because you are. It's because of the type of barbarian you are.
Mm-hmm.
While raging, you choose to.
What's the question?
if I rage, I accidentally raged after my attack. Do I get my second attack now, or do I only get it next turn?
You get it immediately.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
you can, I mean, the order of operation should be bonus action rage, but if you take the attack action, you get 2 attacks on your turn to be used anytime on your turn. So if you attack
Yeah.
without raging, then rage and then attack. I mean, ultimately it's the DM's call, but that's generally how
No,
it
I
is.
agree with that. I was just
Okay.
double checking. And I would rule that way anyway, because you can move as long as you're doing everything you're allowed within your turn. For the most part, I don't care what the order is, because it's
Okay.
you break it up how you want to.
Okay. Perfect. Well then, in that case, that's only a 15 to hit.
That's still a hit.
Oh, great!
Nice.
That's awesome. You faked
You pull
me out
you
there.
pull the string back just a little harder to put a little more grease on this arrow so that it gets that little extra boost of damage.
Yep, that's another 7 points of damage.
Nice.
Another
Nice.
7 points of damage to the same harpy.
Same one.
This thing is definitely hurting as another arrow strikes it almost in the same spot. This thing is hurting. Blood is leaking down from it.
And as a free action, Teera like almost just screams like a primal yell, kind of almost trying to goad this harpy into coming at her.
and you just hear
rather than
this
at Doc.
yell just reverberating off of the walls of stone and sort of echoing across the area around you. Vorn, Teera has just rage shot a harpy right next to you. The other two, they're flying 20 feet up. What do you want to do?
Is the one that she shot on the ground, or is it still flying?
They're still 20 feet up.
Okay, all right. Vorn, the one that Assyria killed, that's the one that my thrown axe was in, correct?
Yep, it's at
so,
your
yeah.
feet.
Okay. Yeah, Vorn kind of puts his boot on that harpy and pulls out his thrown axe and kind of targets it with his hand and lets it fly to the one that has the arrows in it.
Badass.
All right.
Nice.
There's just this, in that motion as you pull it, take aim and throw it, you're just pulling, the blood just seems to arc and you hurl it up. Go ahead and make your attack.
Oh my god, come on.
15?
It's a hit.
Yes. 7.
Once again, you hit the exact amount of hit points that it had left.
Oh, get it.
Your axe goes flying straight up towards this harpy, and you can see that she's struggling, trying to keep herself aloft, and she's got these 2 arrows in her side, and this axe just right below her chin, sort of between the clavicles, strikes into her, and she just falls back, wings splayed wide, and crashes to the ground in front of you. 1 harpy remains, and with an angry cry, she looks down at all of you and begins flying as fast as she can straight up. She is fleeing.
Ah, suck it.
Assyria, knock it down. Catch it.
Yeah, yep. get it.
Assyria,
My hunter's
it
marked
is your
on her.
turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Her movement speed is 80, so because of the dash action, so she is now
Mhm.
100 feet away from you.
120
It still
range, right?
fits. Well, my hunter's mark wouldn't fit, but I can still shoot her with my longbow.
Your hunter's mark,
Still applies.
Still
your
applies.
hunter's mark
Okay.
is applied. It's the range is just to apply it.
Got it. Okay.
So she's marked regardless.
Okay.
Oh man.
Let's go.
Come on, dude. Knock her out of the sky. Blow that piece of junk out of the sky.
20.
Yes!
Fuck yes.
So
Okay.
that is maximum damage,
Mhm.
and then roll your damage again.
Oh, get it. Come on.
A tense moment where a player does math. Made more tense as the DM narrates it.
That's only a tense moment for some of us.
Hey,
22 points of damage.
Oh, done. Dead. What?
Knocking it in
Assyria.
the back as it's flying up in the sky.
Assyria, what does it look like
Yes.
as you kill this last harpy?
All right. So she is pulling her arrow and bow up as this thing is flying straight in the eye. At this point, her eyes, which are normally a very vibrant blue green, are just solid green as her hunter's mark is fully initiated. And you almost see like it beating into the arrow as it lights up with that green energy. She just breathes out as the arrow flies. And it just looks like this green bolt shoots through the harpy, the back of it, coming out from like the right side of it, plunging out. And you almost see the look of shock on the harpy's face as it starts falling backwards.
Oh.
And it falls to the ground next to its dead companion. As it does so, I would like all of you who are conscious to make a perception check. We are still in initiative order.
So are you going to call out? when
I
he
just
wants
want
to
you
see?
all to make perception
Oh.
checks and tell me what you get.
19. 19.
Power 8.
You're muted,
11.
Dwight. There we go.
I got a 9. Soren got a 19.
Soren next to you, Assyria, as you sort of, the green fades from your eyes. Soren is alerting to the east. He's immediately turned. Teera, you also see, sort of, just as your rage is still just, and you're looking around for your next target, you see to the east from the direction of the horn, something in the air flying towards you. And it's big. And it will be here in one round.
Oh, that's the.
And we are going to go ahead and we're going to take a little bit quicker break, but we are going to go ahead to break because that takes us to the top of the order, and we're going to hold off on Doc's last death save here. Or next, not last, next. You know what? Go ahead and roll it, Doc.
Okay.
You know, if at this point we can just keep going, and we'll either end on at a certain point or end early, since we didn't take a break. If everybody's good,
Yeah.
Good with that.
Sure. Yeah.
so Doc rolls, got 1 success and 1 save,
Failure.
1 success and 2 failures. Something is rapidly flying towards you. Mizya, what'd you get on your perception check?
11.
You have not noticed this yet.
Holy shit.
So as far as you can tell, the fight's over.
Okay. I'm just going to. I will run over to Doc or shuffle over to Doc as quickly as I can, and just see if I can help stabilize.
You can,
Doctor.
if you don't have any spells or actual medicinal things to offer, you can attempt a medicine check and attempt to stabilize Doc.
That is a 22.
Oh, what? That's the
I just-
power of love.
I
How
just
does-
lean over and I just start like caressing Doc's hair. Doctor,
Oh.
are you okay? I'm so sorry, Doctor.
Doc is now stabilized at 0 hit points and is unconscious. Doc, roll me a d4.
Three.
Okay. Unless other means are used to wake Doc up, Doc is unconscious for the next 3 hours. That is your action, Mizya. Teera, it is your turn. You have seen whatever this is, this creature that is flying. It is way bigger than the harpies.
Okay. Teera is like looking around frantically, picking up all she can from her stupor, and she sees her sword laying in the dust over there, and then she notices Doc. And for a half a second, she looks back at her sword, and then she looks back at Doc and sprints over and sees this giant scary thing and sprints over towards Doc and Mizya and just like looks down, realizes he's unconscious probably, and tries to pick him up like over the shoulders, kind of. He is very big.
Yeah, what is your strength score?
My strength score is a 17
So
plus 3 mod.
your
I'm raging, so does that?
yeah, you get advantage on your attempts to lift, pull, carry, any strength checks.
Advantage on strength checks, yeah.
So 17.
And I get advantage. So you want me to roll that right now? I guess.
Yep.
Okay. That's gonna be a 17 to lift Doc.
It's hard.
Yeah.
He's big.
And
But
awkward.
you know the way. I mean, you've hunted big game before, and you know the proper
Mhm.
way to
Mhm.
to lift up something that's basically just dead weight.
Mhm.
He is heavy, so your lifting ability, you can lift up to 510 pounds, but your carry capacity is only about 255. So you're going to be moving slow wherever you're trying to take him, but you can carry him.
Okay. So if I'm moving slow, does that mean I get, so it says my speed is 30 feet walking. Would I get
It's going to be
half that?
15.
15. Okay, so I'm just like trying to
You're only
get,
going to be able to make it halfway to the wagon if that's where you're trying to go.
Yeah, I was gonna try to, is there any kind of cover other than the wagon that I feel like would protect us?
The
from-
closest thing you could do is try to move around the side of the hand monument.
Yeah.
There's no real cover here at this point. There were
I
no
don't think that's a good
trees, not
idea.
much vegetation.
Yeah, I'm gonna go towards the wagon, and as a free action, I'm gonna be like, Vaughn, cover us. And,
Also, just to note,
that's it. Yeah.
because you have taken no damage nor done any damage, your rage will end. As you are putting up
I've taken damage, not while I was raging. Is that what it is?
on this turn.
Oh, okay. Oh, the rage will end.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
That just means you'll have to use another bonus action to reactivate it.
that's okay.
But
Okay.
you put all that, basically you funneled all of that rage into lifting Doc off the ground, and you're just carrying him to the best of your ability. Vorn, you also haven't noticed this thing that's flying towards you.
Yeah. Vorn sees Teera run over and pick up Doc. Vorn looks at Soren and where Soren is pointing, and Vorn shouts over to Assyria, "I'm gonna go help Teera. Can you cover us?" And I go run and I go and I said, and I kind of catch up with Teera. And can we do like a,
Hmm.
both of us carry and either by the legs or by the.
If you go
combine our
over,
strength.
if you go over there and start helping Teera,
Mhm.
you can both get Doc
The
over
full
to the
move.
wagon on this round.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And then once we get to the wagon, I imagine, and Teera, you let me know if you're down for it. We put Doc under the wagon or on top of the wagon, whichever one is safer.
I was gonna say under for now.
And I pass you my great axe, and we have like this cool Marvel cinematic like twirl on camera look where we go back to back. And I pull out my my flail or my glaive while I hand you my great axe.
Badass.
And I'll say it'll have to do until you get your sword.
Yes. Yes. And I'm just like holding, Teera is gracelessly holding this great axe in front of her and like testing the weight and just sort of smiles and nods at Vorn.
Yeah.
And
Love it.
I grab out the glaive and I kind of like, I haven't used it in a while, and I kind of grip my grips on it, but I'm ready. And I'm still trying to figure out what everyone is pointing at. It's like that scene in Predator where they're just shooting into the woods and they don't know what they're shooting at.
wow. Pulling out the Predator reference. Thank you, RQ Stefan.
Thank you. That's another
Stefan.
domain tome for you all.
Thank God.
Ooh.
That's my turn.
All right.
Well done. Well done.
That is going to take us to Assyria. Now, Assyria, you didn't see what it was at first, but you saw Soren was alerting, and Soren got a pretty high roll on that. So as you turn to see what Soren is looking at, you see it. This massive shape that is flying rapidly towards all of you. You know that it will be there within one round, which means that it is a 100 feet away.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
She is going to take a defensive stance. Put another arrow in. And she's going to hold her action until that it's 100 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
And it's making a beeline for them, correct?
Yep.
She's going to hold her action.
Okay.
If it looks like it is making a move on the cart, she's going to attack.
All right. Doc, you are unconscious. You continue to be unconscious.
Wonderful. Thank you.
The rest of you watch as this shape grows larger and larger as it closes within distance of all of you. And it seems to sort of flare its wings as it gets within about 50 feet. And you can see that this creature has incredibly wide wings that are scaly and draconic looking. You see that it seems to have a lion-like body, and this fringed, spiky mane has an almost humanoid face full of sharp teeth. And as it flares, you see its spiked tail sort of curling down beneath it. And instantly, there is this sound, this sort of as on the ground in front of all of you, and a couple in the cart, these spikes shoot out of its tail. None of them hit any of you. They just seem to just thunk into the ground near you. Couple into the side of the cart, just doosh. It seems to look around and then crashes into the ground 50 feet away from you. And it takes a few steps forward. What do we have Here.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Are you responsible for killing these witches?
Oh my god. Teera doesn't say anything. She just like tries to like puff herself up and look big.
Now it is Mizya's turn.
I I step up onto the cart and stand in the like on the bench in the front with my quill out. Well, I don't know who else would have done it. So yes.
Oh, oh god.
What is to keep me from adding you to my feasts? It is a situation here. I hate these harpies. But I don't know yet if I have an opinion of you.
Well, I can't say that I cared much for these harpies to begin with. I've never liked them. And, well, they messed with my friends. And now they're dead.
It takes a few steps forward, and it seems to be looking around and sniffing at the air. The blood is fresh. The kills brand new. 4 of these bitches lie in pieces on the ground. You have made my day easier. Hell, you've made my existence easier.
Well, we'll be on our way then.
Not
Have a nice
so
day.
fast.
Teera kind of goes under her breath and like laughs.
You killed them. Meaning I didn't have to expend any energy to do so myself. Which means I'm fresh for a fight. Are you?
Well, to be honest, no.
Mizya.
One of us is unconscious under the cart here.
Mizya.
So it doesn't seem like much of a fair fight. You seem an honorable fellow. How about you just enjoy your snack and we'll be on our way?
Make a persuasion roll.
Oh my god. I think you should do it with advantage, Dwight. I think you should do it with advantage.
You know what? I have an inspiration point that's been sitting on this card
Yeah.
since we started this game.
Okay.
The 14.
Okay. That's going to be versus a 2. Have you checked to make sure there are no many more in the nest?
They stopped singing, so I hope not.
It flies straight up towards the hand. You watch as this form flies 100 feet up. You see it land and disappear for a moment. You keep seeing parts of its wing, its tail, and then you see bits of debris start falling off of the top of the tower. You are all sort of all near the cart and away from this as you watch as a couple desiccated animal corpses and what may have once been a traveler fall to the ground, pieces of nest, feathers, and you do catch glimpses of shiny bits and a leather satchel, a rucksack, a few things that fall to the ground around there. And then moments later, you've killed them all. Do you intend to eat them too?
No. Nope.
Oh
No.
heavens, no.
Nope.
Nope.
I will take them.
Mm.
And then it sort of walks over to the side where Assyria's horse, or not Assyria's, one of the other horses, I guess it would have been Teera's horse that was charmed, is sort of wandering. And I'm taking this too.
No, how about
Wait, no, we need that.
hang on.
It wasn't a
hang on.
request.
Hang on, how about a trade? And Assyria will reach into her bag.
Your
and
wolf?
No,
Oh.
no, don't you dare. And she'll instead pull out a large piece of the pork that we have.
Oh.
We've got plenty of it. You can have it.
You don't want horse. It's so tough and gamey. Pork is good and fatty and
Mhm.
delicious.
Make a
we didn't
persuasion
eat.
check.
Oh, she's not good with
I will let you do so with advantage as Teera was assisting you there.
Thank God for advantage because I rolled a 1.
Oh.
That is gonna be for persuasion. Still a -1, but that is a 16.
Which beats the Manticore's 7.
Oh, suck it.
Fine. Leave
Yep, immediately.
now.
And she'll drop the pork and
The
Go
road
and get
takes
the
you
horse.
past
okay.
my lair. Do not stop, and do not be there when I finish.
Mhm.
And it moves forward a few steps. Put it on the ground.
She just drops it immediately.
Yeesh.
And it begins to gather up in its claws the 4 harpies. It actually takes 2 of them, flies them up to the top of the tower, comes back down, grabs 2 more,
Oh.
comes over and takes the meat and flies back up to the harpies, what was left of their nest at the top of the hand.
I think this whole time Mizya's been holding that quill up in between them and the manticore. And as soon as it like goes up and it lands and it looks like it's gonna stay there, Mizya just kind of like collapses down onto the seat. Oh, fuck.
And you hear from 100 feet up, I like it here. I might keep this place.
At this point, I'm like going, Vaughn. We need to get Doc into the cot.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I start like trying to drag Doc out from underneath the cart and get
Yeah.
him up into the cart.
So if you pull him up by the feet, I'm going to
Yep.
take him by the shoulders, and
Yep.
as we lift him into the cart, I guess I'm standing next to Mizya. And I kind of look over at Mizya and I go, friends, huh?
No.
Yes, I thought I covered that last time.
It's just nice to hear you say it.
Yeah, well.
And
you're
Teera
welcome.
goes, this is all very adorable, but I think we should go. And I'm hustling over to my horse and I hop up.
Assyria's already grabbing and pulling it
Teera,
back.
I will. Oh, go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
I slide over and I kind of like awkwardly take the reins, where Doc would normally be.
Teera, as you head over to get your sword and your horse, you see that on the ground there's what appears to be a mostly intact rucksack. It's opened and it looks like some of the contents have been pulled out, but where it landed, you can see that there appears to be an unbroken glass bottle inside with a red liquid. And you will see a couple of coin purses that are laying around. It's a bit dented, but one of the things that landed, that was thrown off of the nest, is a silver, what looks like a silver pitcher.
Okay.
pitcher, not picture.
Pitcher.
Yes. And right near your sword, you actually see first one, and then a moment later, you can see sight of the other one lying in the debris. Is a pair of silver earrings that look like skulls.
Metal as hell.
Do you take the pouches or the rucksack?
So I kind of hurriedly load all the random shit into the rucksack,
Okay.
not really looking at any of it. Zip the rucksack shut. Sorry. And I load it up and I hop onto my horse.
Zip it with those Fantasyland zippers.
No, I was thinking it's like a drawstring.
Right.
I'm thinking like it's a, you know what I'm saying? Like an old laundry bag, like one of the big canvas laundry bags.
Okay. Yeah. So you just
And
grab it all
I
up.
don't really look at any of it, and I'm just like, next time we make camp and we're settled, we can really take inventory. But right
Okay.
now we gotta go.
So everybody's gathering up horses, gathering up gear. You can hear occasional, almost roaring sounds, followed by just a loud snap of bones as the manticore is clearly devouring the harpies. And you're able to get on the road and get moving, and you follow the road around the hand. And a couple miles later, you encounter the spire that is the horn, and see that in a similar fashion, the road moves close to it. Looking up at this 100-foot spire, you can see about 2/3 of the way up, there is a cave entrance. And you can only imagine that that is the lair of this manticore.
Don't stop.
As you continue moving on, you rapidly begin moving closer and closer towards a forest, following the path that has moved eastward. Would you go into the forest or camp out just outside the edge of the forest at the end of the day?
My
in.
vote is edge.
Oh, I say in.
Well, Teera says we don't need to be. Thank you, mashed potato.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. That's 3 domain
Um,
tomes thanks to Mashed Potato.
We don't need to be venturing into the forest. Doc is hurt. I'm hurt.
Well, at least give us some coverage from above.
If we need cover, we can duck into the forest from the edge. We need to stay out of the forest, but have the option of going into the forest, yeah? And I look around at the others. Options are key here. What if there's something deadly in there? We don't know what's in there yet. Mizya. Vaughn.
Oh, don't look at me.
Vaughn. Think
Yeah.
survival. Where should we be?
Just for clarification, this isn't Fangorn Forest. It's not like dense trees and instant darkness. You can see, kind of as you start to work your way into a forest, that
Yeah.
there's sparse trees. They do grow darker and thicker the further you go in. So you could possibly feel some amount of safety if you were to camp just inside the trees.
Yeah, which
Okay.
is what a
So that is what I
aims.
consider the forest's edge for
Okay.
future
Looks-
reference.
Okay.
Oh,
So we
I
were-
was thinking you were out in the open.
We were
I'm like, this
fighting
is
over
really bad.
semantics.
Yeah. I just wanted to be clear this wasn't
No,
a
that's fair.
you're out of the
No.
forest, you're in the forest. You're out of the plains biome and you're in the forest
No, I was
biome.
thinking
Forest
just
spectrum.
within the tree, like the first round of
Okay.
trees.
So
That's how far.
Vorn looks over at Teera and he's like, "Take a breath. I think we're fine. Maybe 10, 15 feet into the forest isn't a bad idea.
Right, that's what
That
I was
way
suggesting.
we can see the plain. We can have the best of both worlds. So we can go to the plain if we need to, or go back in the forest. But
Plane?
I'm sorry, outside the forest.
The
The
plains.
The
The
field.
Sorry,
not
I
forest,
accidentally
okay.
slipped
The not forest.
Valheim terminology into this discussion.
Yeah,
The
Sarah's like,
plane.
wait, what?
Did you say
The
plain?
field.
You said field, right?
Yeah, you've been moving basically through grasslands.
Yeah.
The
okay,
Yeah.
grassland.
The not forest part of the forest.
The not
got
forest
it.
part of the forest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somewhere around this time, as everybody's arguing and agreeing, coming to an agreement on where you're going to set up camp, Doc, you awaken in the back of this cart, and you are exhausted, not with like mechanically exhausted, but you have you hurt. You have wounds on your chest, blood or not blood, I guess, on the front of your doc's uniform, lab coat, doc's uniform. Jeez. I can English.
Your doctor costume.
Your doctor
AKA.
costume. But yeah, you wake up with 1 hit point as you regain consciousness. It's been about 3 hours of travel. Do you say anything upon awakening?
Yes. So as soon as Doc wakes up, he's gonna sort of jolt up immediately.
Yeah.
Did anybody else notice Teera was really grumpy?
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Oh.
And then
For the record, I'm glad he never sleeps, because if that's how he wakes up every time, I'm really happy he just stays awake.
Terrifying.
That was awful.
and then as he's sitting, he's gonna say, while my eyes were closed, I saw something. Well, I didn't see something. I was in a place I've been before. It was strange. It was all black. And I was there and I looked just like this. But I kept hearing something.
What did you hear?
It was a voice. And I kept saying the same thing over and over and over. I don't know what it means though.
What was it?
It said, Sanguis vita est.
Sanguis vita est.
Look, I just watched Event Horizon like 2 nights ago, so
Shut
can we
up,
not be
Dwight.
throwing creepy Latin phrases into the game right now?
I also recently watched Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Spectacular. It holds up
Carpe
spectacularly well.
diem.
Dude,
Acido.
I think with Doc revealing this is a great place to end tonight's session. As you are all setting up camp, and Doc says this just as you're all standing around, and as the camera pans out away from the edge of the forest, not quite the forest, and just reveals that this forest is not huge, but it's a larger forest to be traversed as you continue on your path following the mysterious map. All right. Another great session, ending just a little bit early, about 15 minutes early, which would have been a little bit shorter than our break that we didn't take. As Doc spent most of this session charmed or unconscious, as happens,
Sorry,
but
bud.
thanks to 10 domain tomes, Doc did not die.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
As a reminder that if a character does die, it doesn't necessarily mean they're gone forever. You have options always, depending on what you choose to do. So don't instantly think that if you fail your 3 death saves that you immediately need to roll up a new character. It might mean that if you choose to, but there are other options and other things that can happen.
It's nice though that there is a level of desperation in us.
Oh, yeah,
So it's
absolutely.
Like, oh God, no!
I mean, it does mean, it
characters
absolutely
don't know
means if your
that.
character dies, they're
Our
dead.
characters don't know that. Yep.
But there's very few and desperate things that can be done. But there are things that can be done. So,
Good to know.
I just need to say a huge thank you to our audience tonight. Thank you
Oh,
to Hadrian X and Mashed Potato, who contributed bits for domain
thank you,
tomes.
thank you.
Goblin Katie coming in for the play of the day, VIP with those domain tomes, as
MVP.
well as RQ Stefan, who also came in with the resub. I think you somehow managed to, despite all the ones you used, have a net loss of only 2 tomes
That's not bad.
over when we
No.
started. So 2 or 3.
That's not bad.
You're at, no, it was 2 because you're at 10 and you were at 12 to start, I believe. So
Oh, Cari.
excellent.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Excellent. Another fantastic session. And yeah, thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. Thank you to this incredible audience. Let's see. I'm just taking a look at who's doing stuff. It looks like it's been a while since we've sent people over to Dr. Faust,
Yay!
who is Dr. Faust Painting Clinic, who is Dr. Faust is still streaming. So we are going to read Dr. Faust in just a moment when we go off here. So be sure to let Dr. Faust know who sent you. I just got to cue this up, and I can never remember if it's with an O there or was the abbreviated. It's Doc. Just remember Doc.
Easy to remember.
There we go. So we'll get that queued up. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't say a huge thank you, as always, to these amazing players. Gary, Jordan, Dwight, Cari, and Ricky, without whom it would just be me talking to myself for a couple of hours. And with that, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. We're going to end the stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want.